Hello, and welcome to As the CMMC Turns. I'm Matt Titcomb, the CEO of Peak InfoSec, an authorized CMMC third-party assessment organization, or C3PO. This episode will address the External Service Provider, ESP, Compliance Business Risk Transfer. As you all know, everything after this point is unscripted, and there may be some foul language in this episode. So, yes, there is a big poopy turd right on the very front slide of this presentation. Y'all will understand why it's there, because y'all have it in your lap. You just don't realize it yet. So, when the original draft rule for 32 CFR Part 170 that was supposed to establish the CMMC program came out, underneath CMMC Level 2 scoping, which would be for certification by an organization like ours as a C3PO, if you had an ESP that was in scope based on various rules, they required a certification assessment as a part of your certification. So if they weren't certified and we came along and you were using them, you wouldn't be certified. Well, there was a whole bunch of weeping and gnashing and crying of teeth when this came out. And a lot of, oh my God, this is so bad. All right. DOD listened to you. You got what you wanted, but it's not quite what you wanted and you don't really understand it. Now, if you're out there on LinkedIn and CUI Discords and Reddits, yeah, this all sounds great, but yeah, it's not. So let's go through one comment. Just one comment. You'll see this thread throughout all the preamble and the new regulation that was published, and this is what you got. So DOD received numerous comments about expanding the scope and cost of the CMMC program. Well, they responded, okay, and they said, we've revised the rule to reduce the assessment burden on external service providers. Oh, DOD heard us. DOD listened. Life is so good. Aww. Keep reading. When, and this is just for those that only handle security protection data or manage your IT environment, they don't require CMMC assessment or certification. However, in other words, what we just said doesn't matter. Services they provide are in the OSA's assessment scope. Let's revise that term. OSA is you. It is in your scope. You have to make sure they're compliant. Uh-oh. Yep. Now you're starting to understand it. So, here's what really happened. DOD dumped, you can pick whatever bleeping term you want to use right now, the business risk of your external service provider failing back on your shoulders, back on your dime, back on your certification, your business risk, your loss of contracts. Is this getting through? You better be paying attention, because seriously, this is the biggest trap for many organizations in here that think we can just go use my local IT company and everything's going to be all kumbaya and great. It isn't. Let's talk about what you guys actually got for what you wanted. Now, so this is the actual scoping requirements now from the published regulations. So when you, an organization self-assessing or seeking certification, is using an external service provider, and we'll ignore that first quadrant, we're just going to focus on the ones in red. The services provided by the ESP, your cloud service provider, if it's just doing IT, Splunk, Sumo Logic, Tenable, Rapid7, etc., are in scope and shall be assessed as security protection assets. That means that shall be assessed means me as an evil assessor are looking through all the components that are in scope that store, process, transmit CUI, or provide security protection. They're now fully in scope, and we are assessing them against all applicable 110 controls. Oh, crap. Oh, but if it's not a cloud service provider, it's your IT guys, it's your virtual SOC, It's your accounting firm who's going in and accessing your ERP that happens to have CUI in it. Crap. They too shall be assessed as security protection assets, or in the case of your accounting firm, oh wait, they have access to CUI on their infrastructure, so they're fully in scope. Crap. So let's talk about that assess. There's a little myth out there. Oh, well, we only have to worry about that exact specific capability that they've got. No. So if they're providing vulnerability management, well, their vulnerability management capability still must meet access control restrictions, MFA, identification, everything else that would apply as if it was on premise for you because you outsourced your IT to them. Just because it's in their infrastructure doesn't absolve you of that responsibility. So again, they shall be assessed as a part of your assessment. Start thinking the amount of time and effort that's going to go on. All right, it gets worse. Let's understand the word shall. Think 10 commandments here. So this is a very specific legal term that it goes all the way back to British lexicon of the law of common law. You see the FAR regulation definition. It denotes an imperative. It is an order. Thou shalt go do this. That's what it means. The FAR drafting rule is, again, it's an obligation to act. You are obligated to do this. Crap, here's the problem. Under 32 CFR Part 170, as an authorized C3PO, we are obligated to assess you in accordance with 32 CFR Part 170. Sorry. Now, you also see the legal definition there from Brian Gardner and his Dictionary of Modern Legal Usage. Again, it has a duty, and impose a duty for you to do something. You are the legal actor in this. Okay? No escaping it. Sorry. I wish it was nice. I wish it was easier for you. It's not. So, here's the consequences. Now, this is the DoD Cybersecurity FAQs for DFAR 7012. This is in scope, and this is cited as an authoritative reference per DoD policy. If your IT service support, i.e. any of your external service provider, is deemed to be less than compliant, you are ultimately responsible. So as a C3PO, I have to mark you as not met if one of your OSC, your ESPs, doesn't meet a capability requirement and the security requirement related to it. Starting to sound scary, huh? It is. All right, so let's sum up, and we'll get to what you really need to be doing. DoD dropped a nice big turd ball right in your lap. Sorry, guys. Don't be all over happy joy land on this external service provider thing. Your IT service provider, MSSP, MSP, accounting firm, etc. may be in scope. When in doubt, please check with an authorized C3PO like Peak InfoSec. We understand the nuances in this and will help you to make that appropriate determination. If they bleep up on a security requirement, you are now not met too. That now means you have all the potential consequences, to include them causing you to lose your conditional or full certification. Yep, they could cause you to be not certified. DoD gave them the option of still being CMMC certified. In that use case, they get certified. We're assessing them as long as you're using their services, for what they were certified against. You inherit that. I don't inspect them. They were certified elsewhere. Getting the hint, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. So we highly recommend using a CMMC certified external service provider. Highly recommend. It's kind of a foot stomp. Hint, hint, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, guys. Save your business, save your time, save your hassle, save your headaches, and save some buck along the way. Because otherwise, you're paying for them to sit through the assessment. And when we get to those controls, I'm digging through their environment too. They are in scope. So, external service providers, if you are watching this, if you choose to get certified, your external service providers are still in scope per this definition. So, choose wisely too for you guys. Again, I'm Matt Tidcomb from Peak InfoSec. Thanks for joining us with this fun-filled as the CMMC turns. And really, guys, seriously, go after external service providers that are certified. It is to your benefit. Out here.